All right, so I'm gonna start my embroidery painting here. So I've got my needle and I've got my plan, and then I have my embroidery hoop with my burlap in it. So first I'm gonna start with this mountain. I think I'm gonna do the green one first. So I'm gonna cut about an arm's length of green, I think is probably what I'll need. If not, I can always come back and add more. So let me cut this off. Making sure I pull enough out for the next person. Okay, so here's some green. And what I'm gonna do now is tie a knot to my needle. So that will follow my needle wherever it goes. Okay, and at the end of my yarn, I'm actually gonna try and tie a pretty big knot so that it doesn't go through my burlap. And you can see that the burlap little squares in there are pretty big, so I'm gonna have to like double, triple knot this so that it doesn't go through when I pull it. Okay, so I did 3 knots. I'm gonna do 4, and we'll see if that holds. Okay, so my green triangle here starts at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this up, and with my needle, I'm gonna come up from underneath at the square where I think this kind of should start, and I'm gonna pull my green all the way through. Okay, so I started underneath, so that knot should be underneath. And if I pull really hard, it is gonna pull through, so I'm gonna only pull gently, okay? So then notice I'm going upwards to make a triangle. So I'm gonna go to the next hole down, and I'm gonna go through it this way. I'm gonna go down from the top, and I'm gonna pull it all the way through. Oops, try not to get caught on that. All the way through. Okay, so now I have a stitch right there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come up from underneath, about this one, I think. So what I'm doing is I'm creating stitching that's gonna actually create my yarn painting here, my little embroidery work of art. Okay, so that now I'm going down again. So I'm creating like the triangle of the mountain. I'm gonna come up. Okay. I think I need about 1 more. This will be the point of my mountain. And then I'm gonna change directions. So I'm going up and down, up and down. Okay, so now I wanna come down one of these this way to create that effect of the triangle. Come down this one. Okay, so maybe you're making a circle or a square, some other kind of shape. Just try to visualize in your head where those might come up and down to make those shapes with your yarn. You're kind of trying to make lines of yarn here. Instead of with your pencil, you're using yarn. Okay, back up. Oops, dropped it. Back up. Pulling it all the way through. And back down. Pulling it all the way through. Back up. Okay, and back down. So now I have my first part of my triangle, and then in my design plan I can see that I tried to fill it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the side and try to make a similar triangle, even smaller inside, so it starts to fill up. So always coming up from underneath, pulling all the way through, and then going down all the way through. Up from underneath. And then down. So actually I'm gonna make this one longer. So the farther the space between my little squares or holes, the longer. So you see how long this thread is compared to the other ones? So I could do different lines, variations of length. I could try to make them all the same. I could do them all different. It's kind of up to me as the artist. Okay. Up and down. This one will go right to the edge. And we'll turn in to do another triangle in there. Uh-oh. Got a little knot in it. Let's pull it apart gently. See what happened here. Okay. There we go. Back up. Back down. Okay, back up. Back down. Okay, I've almost got this triangle complete for my little mountain here. I'm doing kind of a landscape with some mountains and some clouds and the sun. Now you could do landscape also. You could do the ocean, a seascape, some waves maybe. You could just do a pattern of design. You could, what else could you do? What else could you come up with? Oh, maybe some plants, flowers. You could be as creative as your imagination will let you. Okay, if I also do a line that I don't like, I could undo it. Just put the needle through that same little hole, and you can undo it. Okay, so actually I believe I'm done. So I have a lot of extra green, which I could just keep or share with somebody who might want some other green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. And remember how we knotted it 3 or 4 times so it wouldn't fall through? I'm going to do that same thing. I might actually trim this so I'm not trying to knot all that extra. But I want to get it nice and close to my burlap. Okay. And I'm going to knot it so that it won't come undone. And I'm going to knot it. I think I did the other one 4 times. I'll probably do the same thing. Oops, that knot went really far away from that one. That's not really going to help me. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. So that should hopefully stay on the back. Can even tuck it down there. All right. So then I would go to my next color. So I think that kind of shows you some of the basics of the stitching of the embroidery. So go ahead and excited to see what you come up with. And go ahead and get started.